Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? Guys, I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. This is Jay Moore, your healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. Guys, what an awesome, incredible day. And here's what we're talking about. We are talking about really how people hold themselves back from the things that they want, from the things that they desire, from the places they want to go. Guys, we're just going to unpack a few things today that's going to really reveal how, look, all we have to do is step forward, and boy, we will never hold ourselves back again. So guys, thanks for joining me, and let's jump right into this. So guys, I just got back from an amazing conference, the 100X conference in Anaheim, California. One of the premier events for Kingdom entrepreneurs from all over the world, just coming together, converging, and really, man, I'm telling you, man, this event was so powerful. I'm talking about just bombs were being dropped, Holy Spirit just jumping on people. It was amazing. And so if you've never heard of 100X, man, I'm so glad you're here. So go find 100X. Now 100X is all on Facebook. You should have seen ads from Pedro Dale. If you look, if you're kingdom minded, you'll start seeing it, and just watch my page. You'll see links. I'm not sure what link I can send you to today, but 100X Academy, Pedro Dale. So why do people hold themselves back? Let's think about it. Write down some things that you desire in your life. Write down some things that you've been wanting for a long time, and then ask yourself this question right here. Why haven't I achieved said things? Why haven't I gotten said things? What have I done that's caused these things not to come to me? See, a lot of times we don't want to take responsibility for the things that happen in our life. I just want you to think about this. Do you take responsibility for things that happen in your life? Do you take responsibility for what you potentially don't get? And as I was at the conference this week, taking in what Pedro Dale was talking about, and all the speakers, and really what was taking place at this conference, I realized we hold ourselves back because of one thing. Are you ready? One thing. It's just one. It's not. I mean, there could be a lot of things, but it's one major thing, and it's this word called belief. Belief. Now in the spiritual world, the kingdom world, the Christian world, we may call that faith. I want you to think about this. Belief is what holds you back, and it's the belief, guys. A lot of times we're so stuck on the result. And I was talking to a couple of new friends, Sesky, I think that's his name, Sesky, and Brittany. And so we're talking, and I was sharing with them some stuff about, kind of like some new revelations that I've come under. I'm gonna share them with you. And so the new revelation is that when you desire something, right? Say check this out. I desired to be on the stage at the 100X conference. I desired it. What you think about it? I desired it. I was on the stage this conference. I was asked to share my story of pretty much of transformation and kind of how the program's been working for me. I desired that. But check this. I want you to see something. But I wasn't focused on it. Now, I believe one day I'd be there. I didn't give a timetable. Oh, I'm sorry. I did give a timetable. My bad. I said the next time, when I was at the 100X conference in October 2021, I said the next time I go to the 100X conference, I'll be on stage. Now, they had a conference in March, but I didn't go to the conference. I did it virtually. I wanted to go so bad. Things didn't work out, and I didn't get there. So I go to this conference, but I was never thinking about it. That desire that I had wasn't up to me. Say that with me. The desire that you have is not up to you. That desire is up to your father, because desire means of the father. Write that down. Desire means of the father. How do I know this? I know this because I was reading a really cool book. What is it? Oh my goodness, I'm tripping. I can't remember the book. What's the richest man in Babylon? No, it's not the richest man in Babylon. It's the greatest salesman in the world. I was reading that book, and in the book, the author's always referring to sire, sire, sire. Because one guy's being mentored by another, so he called him sire. Look the word up. Sire means father, and de means of. De means of, sire means father. So when you think about your desire, don't think about want, because want actually means lack. And so when you constantly focus on want, then what happens is you can't get it. It's not possible. Write that down. When I'm focused on want, it's not possible for me to get it, because want inherently just means lack. And if it means lack, then that's what I get. Now, desire is another thing, but let's remember what it means. Of the Father. So if it's of the Father, then that means the Father controls the result. The Father controls the result. And if the Father controls the result, it's like as a kid. My son comes to me, he says, "Dad, can you do this for me? Can you buy this for me?" I control the thing that he's asking for. I don't have to give it to him right now. So, not today, son. Maybe next week, or sometimes I just don't respond and look at him like, "Well, you already asked me that." And now I'm not even going to respond to him. So I want you to think about this. The Father is like, "Hey, you asked me for that, so you don't have to come back. I've already written it down." Guys, I want to share something with you that most people don't know. Accounting is one of the highest levels of everything. Accounting. That's why Account for Your Life is the premier podcast, is the premier place where you understand how to take care of your life. Because God is an accountant, and God keeps track of everything. Nothing slips by God. Nothing slips by God. What does that mean? If nothing slips by God, then God is an accountant, which means that people who take on the role of an accountant we are held to a higher standard. So if you're an accountant thinking about being an accountant, you are held to a higher standard. You just cannot focus on the financial stuff. You have to focus on the whole picture, because the whole picture is what's going to create the life, is what's going to create the business. The whole picture will, not just a piece of the picture. So let's think about it. The Father controls the result. And if the Father controls the result, then that means once you ask, you can go back and say, "Hey, did you forget about me?" Say, "I didn't forget about you." Like my son comes to me, "Dad, did you forget?" "No, I didn't forget. I remember you asked me for that last week." "Well," he's looking like, "Well, you didn't give it to me yet." Well, the more you ask me, dude, I'm like you're starting to annoy me. You're starting to annoy me. Now, like I said, you can keep asking for something all you want. But what does the Father want? I'm sorry. What is the Father looking for after we ask? See, remember we talked about this word belief? See, belief is everything, because you have to now believe. You have to now believe that if the Father desires that for you, he will give it to you. He's just going to hand it over. And so here it is. I said that I would be on stage at the 100X conference, October of 2021. In October of 2022, I was asked to be on that stage. How did that happen? It was the Father desired that for me. After I said it, the Father says, "That's good. I like that." But here's the thing: the Father just didn't give it to me. The Father actually had me do some things to get up there. What did I have to do? I had to submit. Not submit to him, not at all. But I had to submit information because the 100X team, they asked everybody, hey, can you give us some information? Can you give us a review? I gave them my honest review of the program. I told them what has happened to me. And that was it. Press button. I had no understanding what I was actually saying yes to. Guys, one of the things we learned at the 100X conference is that your yes is tied to so many things. When you say yes, like when Pedro and his wife Suzette said yes to 100X, then they said yes for thousands of people. Millions of people lives will be changed because they said yes. So when we say yes, that's the window in which God uses so that he can use us. And so I submitted the information. I wasn't tied to that. I just gave it and kept it moving. And then I get a message. Hey, would you be open to being on stage on a panel? It's like, what? Of course. I would love to. I would love to. And boy, so we get there, and I shared a story in our lunch breakout because because it was a few of us that got asked. About I think it was 5 of us got asked to be up there, and we had to share our stories and stuff at the pre-meeting. And I didn't even realize that I had said it until I was finishing up. Telling them my story. And I says, you know what, guys? I said that I would be on this stage last October. All right, so here's what you have to get from this today. This is your gift. This is the gift God gave me. And here's the gift he said. He says, when a person's reason is stronger than the result, then you have to, then you have to get the result. Write this down. When your reason is stronger than the result, then you have to get the result. So what are we talking about here? It's like, hey, I'm looking at making a lot of money. If I keep looking at it, you can forget it. Don't look at it. Have a reason. I had a reason. I had a reason to have a desire to be on that stage. And that reason was to be able to share my testimony. But I was not focused. I was not focused on any of that. I was not focused on, oh, well, now a lot of people in the movement's going to know who I am. I wasn't focused on what would come out of it. Because what comes out of it is, a lot of people know who I am and all the good stuff, and, more connections, and great. That's a byproduct. But the first product was the fact that when I looked on the stage in October of 2021, I saw myself up there. I said, you know what? I think I'd like to be there. And if for anything else, just to share who I am. And what comes out of it was when people said, man, you were so authentic. It was so real. See, guys, this is not about me. I don't want you to think that I'm just sitting here talking about myself. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about who you are. I'm talking about the fact that you have desires. And today, what you walk away with today is the fact that when you have a desire, hand that desire over to the Father. Just hand it over. Ask for it. And then believe that it will happen. I believe that I would be there. I didn't know when, because I can't control that. Like that's like to get on someone else's stage, someone else has to control, someone else is controlling that. So I could not control that. Some things we can control, and maybe we'll talk about that in another podcast. But when you're talking about where other people are in control, you can't control that. So here it is. I was not in control. You're not in control of some of the things that you desire. So if you're not in control of some of the things that you desire, you hand those things over to the Father. So the first thing is you have a desire, you hand it over, and then you have to, your reason for it has to be stronger than that desire. If your reason is not strong enough, you won't do the work. You won't show up. And so because I've been doing podcasts every day, because I've been sharing my stories every day, because I've been doing stuff every day, because I made the submission that was required of me, then it came. So here's the thing, guys. Don't hold yourself back from the things you desire. Now, I did put what you want in the description. Don't hold yourself back from what you want. Now, because you understand that word a lot, but what you desire, don't hold yourself back from that. Have a belief, right? Have a belief. Your belief has to be stronger. Your belief has to be stronger than what it is you desire. Your reason has to be stronger than what it is that you desire. And you have to be willing. You have to be willing to submit to the work. You have to be willing to practice when it's time to practice. You have to be willing to just keep moving every single day. Because if you don't, then by law, you can't have it. It's a law. You can't have it if you're not doing anything. So what's the framework here? Belief has to be stronger than the result. One, your reason has to be stronger than the result. And you have to be willing to do whatever it takes, whatever that work is. You have to be taking those steps. Do those three things. If you do those three things, the desires of your heart, the Father will reveal those to you. The Father will give those to you. I'm living proof that I had something I desired. It took a year, but it's okay. He gave it to me. Now, the question is, Father, what's next? Guys, I thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, your healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.